We are now entering peak Mahjong territory for the Famicom. The first half of 1991 has 5 Mahjong games released for the system, plus one puzzle game that uses Mahjong tiles. And we're kicking this off with Natsume's second Mahjong game, which is normally called Dora 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 in Japan, since that cube symbol's a real pain. There's also multiple subtitles that are used for the game, including Mahjong RPG, which tells you what the focus of this one is. And of course, now it's time for my well-rehearsed Mahjong speech. It's my dedication to the integrity of Famidaily that I don't just pre-record this and drop it into every Mahjong episode. Mahjong is a set-building game similar to Rummy, only played with tiles instead of cards. The version that's always represented in Famicom games is Riichi Mahjong, the most popular variant in Japan. In Riichi Mahjong, players have to build certain types of hands before they're allowed to go out. The Dora of the title refers to a tile flipped over at the beginning, which indicates which tile will be worth bonus points in the hands of a player that goes out. While you can play Dora 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 just like any other Mahjong game, where you play a set of rounds against an evenly matched opponent, the selling point of this one is the RPG mode. There are 3 completely independent RPG scenarios that you can play through here. A medieval fantasy kingdom that needs you to defeat an evil wizard, a martial artist's journey in Asia, and an animal-themed one where you're attempting to become the king of the beasts. That's the one I chose to play. Once you've picked your scenario, you pick out one of 3 different characters, and they can have different abilities and equipment that they can use. I chose the octopus just because I thought he looked cutest, but it turns out that's the hardest one to play as on the hardest mode. Your path is laid out in squares like a board game, and hitting the A button brings up a menu. Here you can choose to enter a location that you've arrived at, use one of your magic abilities or an item from your inventory, or check out your current status. Some of the squares that you'll find are rest points where you'll recover all of your health and energy, plus get a password for you to continue with. Other squares are short little dungeons where you'll fight something, and gray squares are forced encounters. You can have random encounters as you walk around, but you have to complete an encounter if you reach a gray square. Note that you don't have to beat what you encounter there, you just have to not lose. In the Mahjong battles, your hit points are translated to your own points. 100 points per HP. The way that Mahjong scoring loosely works is that if you have a winning hand, you get a certain number of points for each special hand condition, and then some additional bonus points, and these are taken away from your opponent and transferred to you. So basically in these battles, you have to both win hands and get enough points to wipe out your opponent. The interface is streamlined, but not excessively so. You hit A to draw or discard a tile, and if your opponent discards a tile that you can use, you hit B and you'll automatically choose what you need. You also hit B to reveal your hand when you can go out, and you can hit up when you're 1 tile away from going out. That places an additional bet that you think you'll go out first, and it will show you what tiles you need to go out in that case. Now maybe it's that I've been playing too much Mahjong lately, but I was actually winning a lot of hands here. I'm sure part of that had to do with wanting to ease players into the RPG, but I was winning big a lot. I even managed to level up several times, which got me more hit points. It also unlocked a healing spell for me. If I have one problem here, it's that it takes a long time to play out a Mahjong hand. So battles aren't flying by. Of course, the whole reason to play Dora 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 is because you want to play Mahjong. So it's more of a mismatch between RPG-style gameplay and Mahjong games, so it's not entirely unexpected. Unsurprisingly, nobody in Japan cares about this game. An old Mahjong game would have to do something really special to capture anyone's attention. That said, this is one of the better Mahjong games I've played so far. Very clean presentation, it's not cheating like crazy for the AI, and overall it's pretty accessible. You really can't ask for more than that out of a Famicom Mahjong game.